Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Diamond League destruction out of the map Neoplanet S. Spawning up here in the top right-hand corner, we do have Korthaz as the red Terran player, and down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have SFP's Bojinkins. Bojankin. He's jankin, my Jankin. Alright, well anyway, he's a blue Terran. And, yeah, that was probably one of the most awkward name intros I've ever done. I think it got sexual, like, halfway through. And then I just kind of kept running with it. So Bojinkins, if you're interested, I'm here. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm just gonna let you know that I'm here, technically. Yeah. Alright, so anyway, we have both of our players going for those standard supply depots at the beginning of the game, so I'm going to take this opportunity to just really quickly plug all my other projects that I'm doing, which of course include the URTL, which I'll be commentating Mondays and Wednesdays at 7, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9, and Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, all week long for at least until like mid-June-ish. It goes on for quite a while, and that will all be occurring over at twitch.tv/uargaming. You guys should go check it out. And oh, Korthaz going for a Reaper build in TVT on Neoplanet S. This is one of those maps where it's kind of interesting because you don't really have the best angle to get up into the main base of your opponent, but it doesn't suck. I mean, like, this area right here is not awful. Usually you'll have opponents like try to wall this off right here, so you really only have like this entire area, but it gets a little bit awkward, especially because Bojinkins is going for a fairly late refinery, so I doubt he's going to be going for any sort of Reaper or Reactor Marines. But, I mean, this is definitely a Reaper build coming out from Korthaz, like, without question. Probably even, it might even be Reactor Reapers, because this is a really, really early refinery. I would say it's a factory build, but he's not playing against the Zerg player, and I don't think Terran players go for fast reactor builds, or fast factory builds. Interestingly enough, we see the Tech Lab coming down from Bojinkins, so fast Marine timing attack with Stim? Maybe Marauders? Interesting. Korthaz is dropping down his second barracks. I'm not sure. It's in kind of an interesting spot where Bojinkins might not scout it, and in fact, I don't think he will. Yeah, no, I think Korthaz is going to be able to keep that secret for the most part. Now, of course, just seeing the reactor coming down onto that barracks for Korthaz is going to be a pretty dead giveaway for Bojinkins, especially considering how fast this gas was out. He probably knows that Reapers are going to be coming out across the map, and we actually have a Marauder on the way currently for Bojinkins, along with concussive shells, and if there's one thing Reapers suck against, it is, it's most certainly Marauders. They really don't do any damage at all to Marauders. Granted, he will have 3 Reaper production, so you can probably just sprint past the Marauder and go right for the main base of Bojinkins. But honestly, I don't expect that being too fortuitous, just because, you know, there's going to be Marauders constantly coming out of this barracks. And again, Marauders are better than Reapers in basically every sense of the word. It looks like we do have a bunker coming down. Interesting choice from Bojinkins. Now, of course, this bunker will most likely not finish, as we do have a lot of Reapers on the way, and these Reapers will probably be able to just snipe off the SCV. In fact, there we go. Yep, the SCV does go down. That bunker will be doomed to never be completed, unless, of course, there was like a ridiculously fast pull on another SCV bringing it over there. And it looks like with 2 Marauders, he might actually be able to do some reasonable damage here. Now, of course, Reapers, with their fast health regeneration, will be able to fight this guy off for quite a while, and it looks like Bojinkins will just be pulling back. There are, of course, still 3 Reapers out on the map, but concussive shell Marauders can actually deal with them quite well, and we actually have them kind of attacking here. But one of the Marauders is going to go down. In fact, maybe even 2 of them? No, the second one should be fine to run away, as Korthaz really needs to pull his Reapers back. Now, it's still kind of weird to see him going for so many Reapers, because he's up to like 4 now, and, you know, he's made 5, and now he's going right for Marines. And this is, alright, this is a weird build. That's all I really have to say from our red Terran player. And down here we have Bojinkins going for a bio build too, but his bio build is a lot more of just countering his opponent, because he knows that his opponent went for really heavy into Reapers. So he's just going Marauders, because again, Marauders kill Reapers quite easily. Both of our players actually taking a reasonably fast second command center. Not really too fast for TVZ, but definitely fast considering the fact that both of them went for early, like, very aggressive plays. And it looks like a couple of these Reapers will be taken out. These Marauders are going to be able to stay and live another day. And these Reapers are going to have to pull back and run home because, you know, there's only 2 of them left. And you can't shoot up enough drugs to replace your friends. It's very sad. It's a very sad life to be a Reaper when you're like, oh man, I can't drug myself up. I can't do it. I can't drug myself up enough to actually bring Tim back. And it's just a sad scenario to be in as a Reaper. It looks like we have Bojinkins going for double Marine along with one Marauder production. We have Stimpak on the way, interestingly enough, before combat shields. So he's probably going to be going heavy into Marauders. I doubt he's going to transition into Marine production out of that barracks anytime soon. Now, of course, as soon as I say that, he feels the need to really switch over and start making Marines out of that bunker, or out of that barracks. So, you know, you got to correct me. Like, as soon as you can, really. You have to just have that sixth sense, where it's like, oh, he's going to say this. I need to really make sure he's wrong. We have both of our players going for their expansions at this point at basically, like, the exact same timing. Like, I mean, these command centers could not be closer, I don't think. I think Bojinkins has the lead as far as harvesters go. Yes, he is up 2 harvesters. But again, that economic lead is nothing too impressive. It looks like this Reaper will get in and scout the orbital command, which is not too big for Korthaz, because it's going to be hard for him to move in with this Marine count, because he really does not have the upgrades or stim or anything like that to really do damage here, especially considering the fact that he does not have any sort of medevac support for his army. I think that the Marauder Marine composition is just straight up better as far as being able to deal damage to these Marines, but it looks like these Marines are going to be ballsy and try to move in at this point, which is an interesting choice, because Stim is just about to finish up for our Blue Terran player. Their Stim finishes, and these Marines and Marauders should probably be able to slice the hell out of Korthaz's units. It looks like one Marine will sadly be left behind here. He's going to be concussive shelled all the way to his death as his body just flies across the screen. I gotta love those new animations. They really are quite fantastic. And from both of our players, we really see a transition into maybe going for the late game here. Korthaz going for a much slower tech path, actually just now getting his factory down. He's gonna have his starport basically as soon as he has the minerals to plant it, but it's so much later than his opponents that Bojinkins is probably gonna have 2 to 4 medevac lead before his opponent even really starts production, which is a pretty huge lead to have in a TVT, because medevacs are a very important unit when it comes to being able to support a bio army. Interestingly enough, we have Bojinkins kind of keeping his army split up. I'm not sure if he's still a little bit afraid of Reaper harass, but he probably shouldn't be, because it's the mid-game in a TVT, and no one goes for Reapers in the mid-game in the TVT unless they want to lose. It looks like he will be moving his army down to the low ground here. He does have the 2 medevacs, and these is a big count of Marines, but with the medevacs, this should be a reasonable engagement for Bojinkins. Actually, no, he's just going to get everything plowed out of him. Okay, that was pretty bad. Man, I was completely wrong. It looks like the siege tank is done now. Of course, siege tanks no longer require siege tech, but oh god, those +1 Marines absolutely ripping SCVs to shreds. But here's the siege tank. Oh god, shelling all of those Marines. Those Marines are going to be trying to run away. It looks like they do get out of range of that siege tank, but ouch. That was some big damage done for Korthaz. I'm not sure how Bojinkins is going to plan on like pulling this back, because he's down in expansion. He's down on upgrades. The only thing he really has as a player is the siege tank lead, and even that, it won't last for long, because if Korthaz really wants to get siege tanks up, he can get siege tanks up pretty much whenever he wants. He is going for a much heavier bio play. He does have medevacs currently en route, and Bojinkins looks like he might need to go for some pressure here. This is a weird choice, because he really does not have the army to actually be able to push in and kill Korthaz or even do any sort of substantial damage to Korthaz, but he really wants to. Alright, Bojinkins, I do not think this is going to work. I've been proven wrong in the past. Granted, he does now have upgrades that are equal to his opponent, and Korthaz actually going for a medevac drop at this point is going to be splitting up his army quite dangerously. We might be entering into a base trade scenario here, which Bojinkins should have a reasonable lead on, but oh my god. Oh god, he scouted the medevacs. He knows the medevacs are incoming. He does know about them. He will be moving his Marines into position to defend against those, and those things will probably not be able to drop off the entire army. There is the siege going down on the siege tanks. He is going to be trying to engage here. He will be shredding through some Marines, and oh god, Korthaz doesn't not have any medevac support with his main army. He is not even cranking out medevacs anymore. He has only like half of his marine ball here, and this is just not going to be a good scenario because these siege tanks are now in range of that orbital. They will be trying to bait back as many marines as possible, and it looks like we do have that drop going into the main base, but it will be able to get stopped here by a good SCV pull reaction, and it looks like Korthaz will be able to land a full medevac of units, even then not completely full, but I mean close. But that's not going to be able to do enough damage as we just see Bojinkins moving into the natural of his opponent. And there's really no units here for Korthaz to defend. He lost so many units moving into the base of his opponent that I don't think he has enough. I really don't. That was a kind of a poor macro decision to move out that many medevacs. I mean, it would have been good if he'd come around for a flank, but the issue was that he committed so fast with those medevacs, because the Marines saw the medevacs must have seen the Marines. There was no way they didn't. And then he just committed full on with it instead of staying home to try and defend, because if he were to do something like this where he like dropped on top of the tanks, he would have been perfectly fine. Because, I mean, the tanks really couldn't do anything about it, but he kind of just bailed, and it looks like one tank will be able to escape here to go and meet up with the rest of Bojinkins' army, and Bojinkins' army is quite heavily, you know, on the death ball side now, and we might actually just see a complete 180 on this game with Bojinkins just taking the win. Alright, well, that was... Korthaz, yeah, if you see your opponent coming in to attack you, don't move your entire army across the map. Just don't. Just, you know, come back home. You don't need to commit to every attack you are starting to play. Now, of course, Korthaz is kind of just trapped in his main base. I'm not actually sure if Bojinkins knows about this orbital command, but if he doesn't, it does not really matter, because, you know, we have medevacs that will be able to see the high ground for Bojinkins. And these siege tanks will absolutely be ravaging them, and Korthaz looks like he might try to land again on these siege tanks, but there's too many units out of Bojinkins, and these medevacs will just get shot down probably before they can even land all of their troops, and it looks like these medevacs will be forced to pull back here. But with this surround and this contain done for our Brutaran player, I just don't think Korthaz will be able to really do anything. It looks like we do have the counter drop happening yet one more time. However, yet again, I doubt it's going to be that effective, because Bojinkins is doing the right thing, and then he's kind of like sending his units out in giant groups, and he's like just holding them back until he has like the next big pack of them almost done, and then sending them all out. And honestly, this is just not going to end well, as we do see the bust moving up into Bojinkins' main base, into Korthaz's main base. It looks like this drop will be going down onto Bojinkins, but there's no real upgrade lead. There's a slight medevac. Actually, no, there is no medevac lead. There's, yeah, no, it's what? NA server cancer hackler. Any server cancer hacker? Any server cancer hackler. What the hell does that mean? Alright, well, Korthaz has successfully confused me for today, and I will be searching for reasons on why he said that statement, because that makes no freaking sense. Did I like miss something? Alright, whatever. So anyway, guys, if you want more Boisterous action, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Be sure to follow UR Gaming over at twitch.tv/UR Gaming. Send in all your games to send in all of your games to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. Completely lost my train of thought there. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for me for today. So this is Boisterous, signing out.